Welcome to Ghost Recon Wildlands co-op play, and we're going to be talking about, just generally speaking, how good this game is, and some of the things I've learned while doing some co-op with my friends here, and some of the tips and tricks and things that we tested in preparation for when the game comes out. So one of the we'll talk about criticisms and stuff like that people have been talking about in the beta or overall. I might have a different impression, but just as you're watching us going into the chopper here, and I'm playing with two other friends right now. So it's up to 4. I'm sure you know all probably the stats by now. But yeah, one of the criticisms was the vehicle control was a bit wonky. It's kind of difficult or not intuitive. And granted, there's definitely a learning curve to the vehicle selection, just how do you drive them or pilot them. And with the learning curve, I mean, I found it was totally, you get it after a while. You just got to practice doing it. And for the helicopter itself, there's 2 different sets of controls. So there's one for slower hovering, and then there's a second set of controls for when you're at speed, so you're actually traveling. So there's a transitional period, depending on how fast you're going, the controls actually change. So here we're doing a side mission, and this is one with a patrol where you're trying to steal that vehicle. It's the first time doing one of these. And we're in the second half of the beta, where we're in this mountainous, cold region, and what we found out is they really like following the helicopter, and it ended up being a very good platform for attacking. You use it as a stable platform for sniping. You can also launch drones out of it as well.
Watch the truck. We need
So
the shit inside
using
there.
the minigun. Now, not every, depending on the helicopter, you have to actually look at it before you get into it, because then you'll see what it actually comes with. Some come with miniguns, some come with rockets, some come with nothing. And in this case, we got one with miniguns and rockets, which we took from even this heavier military chopper, which is found in this region, because it's a 5 skull out of 5 skull region, whereas the default starting area is like 1 skull out of 5. So we went from easy to the hardest level, and then there's obviously better military equipment to steal, because in this game, you can take whatever you find, you can pretty much drive. Even if it's like a run-of-the-mill farm tractor or whatever, you just nick it and go down the road with it. Which is a lot of fun.
It out of here. Watch it with the truck. We need weapons.
So right here we got some smoke. We've taken some damage in the helicopter, so it's nice that you get some warning before it just crashes. So got Unidad patrol here. They like to come out if there's any sort of shooting. Usually they look the other way, especially the cartel, but if there's conflict going on with gunfire and stuff like that, they do come and investigate. And then you got, like, as you can see on the indicator, there's one out of 4. We just picked up 2 chevrons out of 4, so it's ramping up with the Unidad, the way how much they're going to come in and interfere with what you're trying to do. Whoop. So somebody rolled a grenade over where I was in the chopper, and you can hear it had the audible tones. Now, I died in the chopper with that. That was enough to put me out. And unfortunately, when you die, you can't move or anything. So I can't like crawl out of the chopper so my friend can get me. It's like if it's burning, so you don't want to die in a vehicle. Let's put it that way. That's smoking or anything, because your friends won't be able to get to you.
Target down.
So if you do die and your friends are with you, all that happens is you respawn pretty much the nearest friend. So there's a load screen and everything. So the penalty, I guess, is just that you lose some time in assisting and playing, but you're back in. So it's not really a massive penalty.
How about you don't let me get shot next time?
I think you also are with the same amount of ammunition that you died with, so you don't get a respawn.
They know we're here.
You don't get extra ammo or anything when you respawn.
Grenade. Get away from there. Move.
So these are Unidad. They're usually they're armored up a little bit. So right now I've got a 223 as a primary here, assault rifle, and I usually go semi-automatic, so I don't end up wasting ammunition. But a 223 is not. You're gonna have to shoot quite a bit. Put a few rounds in the Unidad in order to put them down. One shot and stuff like that. It's not gonna quite do it. So here we ordered. The rebels brought us, and this is available in the menu once you unlock it. So you do a mission for the rebels, and then you get bonuses like they'll do a vehicle drop off, and you can level these up as you help them. And here's a moat trying to get into the trunk of the, I guess it's kind of like a Escalade or something like that. And some of the vehicles you can actually hide in the trunk. It's pretty funny. You open up the lid, go in there, and close the lid on you. They never even know you're in the vehicle. So there's a lot of testing to see what you can do in the game, what you can't do. I find the vehicle driving to be pretty reasonable. It really does kind of remind you of GTA, except for the flight controls for the helicopter. Those are different. So if you're used to playing that game, you're going to have to adjust. It's not as simple. And at first, it seems like you can't. It's hard to control the helicopters because you're having to adjust to the two different controls that are available in the helicopter, depending on how fast you're going. So right now we're just looking for trouble. There's, I think there's, okay, so that in the distance, there's a skill point to be had there. So we're gonna go check that out. And there's tons of skill points, weapon mods and stuff. Everything you gotta pick up. So it's kind of, you can't just pick up an enemy weapon and then unlock it in your inventory for weapons in the future as part of your armory. So you have to actually collect it, which is okay, I guess. Like a lot of games, as long as you have it in your hands, then it unlocks. But not in this game. So you got to go claim everything. You got to go find everything, and a lot of it's in bases and in areas where you're going anyway. So it's just slight detours, or you just gotta look around for it.
That guy's history. There's a third one.
So we got somebody in the sniper tower. I zoom in, and my friend's already taken him out. If you're playing with AI solo, then the AI pretty much doesn't do anything until you tell it to, which is fine. And I've heard we didn't play with randoms because like random public co-op.
That's a kill.
And I've heard it's pretty much not that fun. Anyways, if you're trying to actually play more realistic and just kind of covert and stuff like that, everybody's like running and gunning. It's pretty much just GTA crowd going in there. Everybody's just trying to get their kills up. So at that point, for me, I'd rather play solo. But I've got friends, and they're into that sort of game. You know, co-op, stealth, and if it goes loud, then suppressors come off and you go to town. But we're gonna try to play it semi-realistic, as realistic as we can.
City at a flash crash.
Just waiting for this guy to get out of the. He's not even moving.
Tango's following the noisemaker.
So just throwing a flashbang in there, try to get him to move, and oh, he's down.
Clear over here.
Okay, all clear.
There are a few glitches and stuff, at least in the beta. Hopefully they fix it. And there's a few drops that happen.
This is a commendation? Looks like it came from a box of cereal at the Air Force or something.
But nothing like game breaking. You just kind of jump in. And one of the good parts is how easy it is to join your friends' games and stuff like that. Although when you join someone else's game, you only get XP for it. It doesn't actually move your progression forward. So just be aware, if you want to move your progression, everybody's got to join your game.
Tango 10.
But Ubisoft did a really good job with making
Looks like we've
ease
riled
of
them
use and joining your friends and that super easy. And you can kind of tell what everybody's up to anyways, and it's fun to watch other people snipe.
Alright, breathe easy.
Your friends are taking out people and stuff like that, and you back each other up and stuff like that. It's great. The slingshot, we never got it to work with co-op, so I'm wondering if that's just if they're going to add it in the full game or it's just for solo play. Don't really know. And it's good that once you mark them, it kind of tells you what they're up to. So there's like a heavy, standard soldiers, lieutenants, or captains. There you go. It's quick. Hey, we're going to do this mission. You want to join? Gives you the option, and D-pad left, and there you go. You're in. That way, if any one
That was fucking close.
gets the objective, everybody gets it. The success of it. Although the little bits like caches and individual like skill points and stuff like that that are collectible, everyone has to get their own collectibles. So you can't pick up a weapon mod and then everybody gets that. So everyone has to get their own.
I'm riding the motorcycle.
So lots of vehicles, obviously get around a little bit. And usually we separate a little bit so that there's a lot of distraction going on in the base. So if somebody gets caught out, one of the good parts about the motorbike was doing the wheelie. It'll actually do the wheelie in like a pro and not like flip it like every other pretty much game does it. It's like, I don't mean to do a wheelie and then flip it and then crash it. That's not obviously not what you're trying to do. So this game doesn't punish you for, you know, trying to have some fun on some of the vehicles. So that's kind of pushing gaming forward. I like the graphics. Some people complain about the graphics, but I think it looks great. Definitely, you know, on par with what I was expecting. Not any worse. And the ambient, the textures, and the diversity in the regions and that are, you know, I'm actually impressed by that. And the size of the map is incredible. So here we're trying to steal the aircraft side mission. You get a lot of points for that you'll need as currency in this game to upgrade your skills. And these side missions are great for that sort of thing, and they're a lot of fun to do. And if you screw up, unfortunately, when it's one of these steal something, if anybody gets alerted and they can fly the thing, they're gone. It's just incredible how fast they get that plane or helicopter in the air. So right there, I was kind of worried that guy was going to jump in the plane and take off, and he just didn't. And unfortunately, I'm working a bolt action rifle here. I think it's basically a Remington 700 military one, and it's got a 3x scope on it because that's all you can get in the beta. That's as high a magnification optic as you can get in the beta. So
Unidad
obviously,
stay down.
well,
We're clear on this side.
way too low magnification for something like a
Some
bolt
Unidad
action
fuckers
700.
approaching.
I'm guessing it's probably like a 308. So Unidad floating around, found out the hard way. It's like almost like Metal Gear Solid 5. In that case with the helicopters, where you want to just duck down and not move.
Check it out.
They will see you.
This will go nice with my boots.
Yeah, so the other guys have already started collecting stuff. You can hear it in the background, and there's chat, so you can hear what they're up to without actually having to discuss it, just by how the characters on screen are discussing things. So we're just clearing out the base.
How you guys holding up?
Now you can't dawdle in a lot of the bases because the enemy will spawn, just warp right in, and they'll respawn in. So it's kind of cheese that way, not really realistic, but it keeps you moving, which I think is overall in general gameplay, at keeping the tension up. I think that's a good thing. So you don't want to hang around in the base. So when you do want to move on, you want to get what you're there to do, get it done, and get out. And this is the menu system here. So what I'm using, I got a TAR 20. This is 21 there.
Just as they had been trained to do. Most importantly,
So there's the new sniper rifle I picked up. So you have to find these guns, and then once you unlock them, then you can see the tweaking here. So there's parts. You might have collected individual parts by collecting them in boxes and stuff. And there's a 3x scope, which is, that's the one we're putting on there because it's the highest magnification I got. So lots of options, but you got to unlock it, so that's part of it. Most of the stuff you can put suppressor on, which is kind of neat. And on the fly, you can take the suppressor off. You see your character just unscrew it, and these are the paint resets. There's more than enough. There's not too many like stupid ones. I think they're trying to be a little bit more realistic. So I like painting them in a manner that I probably would in real life. So I like this game in this, and you can see that the character selections for editing are a lot more extensive than, say, a game like The Division, which was a bit of a lunch bag letdown of a game. And there's no bullet sponges, thankfully, in this game or anything. It's a lot more what you expect, and it's so fun to play. I've already, I said I wouldn't pre-order any games anymore, but I pre-ordered this one after the beta because it's just, I find it so fun and amazing, especially with your friends. Grenade launcher, a must. That's an upgrade that you gotta purchase in your menus, so that's highly recommended. I recommend also upgrading your binoculars, because sometimes there's a jamming apparatus in certain bases for the drone, so you can't actually use the drone, but when you can, it's fantastic. So you want to upgrade the drone. And another thing is infrared vision. You'd want to get there as soon as possible. Sometimes that can make a massive difference in just picking out targets until you develop higher optics or get a hold of better optics. But the grenade launcher is made, it's like force equalizer when like a helicopter comes in range or a heavy armored vehicle, and you just put a couple grenades in them. Now the aircraft itself is pretty straightforward. This is part one. We're almost done part one here, so I'll see you guys on the next part two, and there'll be a few parts of this. So if you can't get enough of watching it, because obviously we're not playing it because we're waiting for the game to come out, but enjoy the next videos that are coming out on the website, the Northern Soul channel, and enjoy. I'll discuss more about what we're up to, and you can see the co-op. Thanks for watching.